Please tune it out. The whole thing. It's random.
Fucking hey, man. Glad to see you guys. You guys are fucking dangerous. Look at this guy. He's got respect for the door. There's 4 million people coming in. It's only a matter of time. Justice is coming.
What is the cost of lies? It's not that we'll mistake them for the truth. The real danger is that if we hear enough lies, then we no longer recognize the truth at all.
Why would I have anything to say to you? All you do is lie.
What else is left but to abandon even the hope of truth and content ourselves instead with stories?
It's the role of good journalism to take on powerful abuses. And when powerful abuses are taken on, there is always a back reaction.
Take an animal virus and you increase its transmissibility to humans. Right. You're saying that's not gain of function?
That is correct. And Senator Paul, you do not know what you are talking about, quite frankly. And I want to say that officially.
When you report fake news, which CNN does a lot, you are the enemy of the people. Go ahead.
About is the reality of goodness, not the perception of it. And what I see all over the place is people who care about looking good while doing evil. Fuck them. Okay?
Welcome back, Habbening Bros. Oh, wait. Camera's frozen. Oh, come on. Oh. What the? Why must everything go wrong? Wait, hang on. Let's see. No, video capture device is like totally crashed. Oh, God. Let's see. Can I get it to work now? Hello? Yes! Bloody hell. Welcome back, everybody. It's Thursday night, and you know what that means. Another technically incompetent episode of Habbening TV. Is it working now? Can I get confirmation from the chat that everything is well? We are back. Do you like my new frame? Thank you to Cyberchud Internal Affairs. I don't know if he's in the chat for making me this lovely background. It's how can I put this? It's generally bad news, as per usual, but in an incredible development, space puppies. Yes, there have been sightings of incredibly cute space puppies that have allegedly come down from orbit. They have been going up to and nuzzling random people, generally making them feel like super about everything. When asked, what planet they came from and if they had any sort of nefarious designs, the puppies just like rolled over and sort of like did something cute, prompting most of the world's governments to just be like, "Aww." Apparently, the Chinese were not so easily moved, but it's the Chinese. For the rest of the world, the advent of space puppies is a sign that everyone should stop worrying about the bad things that are going on and embrace space puppies, right? Look, it's puppies. It's from space. Elon Musk apparently has a bunch, and he is organizing a expedition to space puppy home planet. Exactly how they got here, and whether there's some kind of sinister overlord class bombarding the planet with cute and lovable space puppies in order to lull humanity into a false sense of cuteness is of course unknown, but who cares? Space puppies. Yeah, so so there's that. which is awesome. Yes, I did try and make some AI images of space puppies, but they didn't like quite turn out. So you're just gonna have to picture that in your mental mind. Tonight we have the Blackstone shooting in New York. Just a random guy, for reasons sort of unknown, decided to drive all the way across the US from, I think, like Nevada to New York to specifically target this one building in New York that was the home of, or is the home of, the Blackstone Group. And the sort of one important person that was killed, I believe there were like 4 deaths, but the only one that mattered, of course, was the sort of rich executive, was the head of Blackstone's real estate investment trust. And for those of you who don't know what that is, it's when a large company like Blackstone goes around buying up single family homes at over market rates so they can then rent them out. An absolutely awesome and socially progressive endeavor. This has the stink of sussy all over it. Very, very sort of glow-uppy. I'll be covering a bit of that. Second, in a weird coordinated move, Starmer basically came out and said that he is going to recognize Palestine as a state. Then the Canadians said they do the same, and the French, a bunch of like countries are basically coming out and saying that they will recognize Palestine as a state in about 2 more weeks, bros. If the Israelis don't, I don't know, have a ceasefire or something. It's a bit murky. I am also sussy about this. Obviously, the Israelis are not going to be happy about this. But objections to what's been going on in Gaza has now reached such a fever pitch that there are a number of countries with, relatively high Muslim populations, such as the UK. Why is that sentence like even a thing? Whereas it is seriously endangering the position of various leaders. Now, of course, being the sort of conspiratorial far-right racist that I am, my first thought was that recognizing Palestine as a state might facilitate the movement of Palestinian refugees into Western countries. But I'm sure that's, that's nothing to do with it. I'm absolutely sure that finally all of these Western countries have decided to get a backbone, bro, and stand up to Israel. And I don't believe it personally, but it could be. And finally, the fallout from the UK's Online Safety Act continues to reverberate not only across the UK, but across the Western world, with Australia announcing that it is going to ban YouTube accounts for anyone under 16. Funny that, right? They recently lowered the voting age to 16. I wonder if these two things could be in any way related. Nah, look, I'm sure that's, again, just what a conspiracy theorist would say. Yes, you can't fight the WEF, right? Everyone thought that, the WEF had just, had gone away, and it was like, fuck the WEF. No. No, they're back, bros. They never went away. They just, slunk back into their hidey hole for a little bit, and now they're back with a bold new plan for a bold new planet. If you don't agree, that's fine. You won't really, have any way to disagree, which is how they like it. Anyway, that's what we've got for you tonight. Let's say hello to everyone in the chat. On Rumble, we have Livy Drusilla, Mikey Bikey, Jay Cheever, Loophole, Captain Crisps, Yiz the Eunuch. I'll be on Empire of Lies tonight. We will be talking about how you can deal with, get around, and avoid the current internet censorship regime in the United Kingdom. Some practical tips for you to get around the censor, right? Only for good reasons, obviously. Said SAPNT, great to see you. I think that's everybody. Crisby13, good to see you, Crisby. Anybody else? I think that's everybody. On YouTube, we have 007, Sar. Check his book out. I hear it's good. I don't know, because I can only get it on Kindle, and Kindle keeps crashing for me. But, Sunny Jim. Wait, why is my scroll wheel not working? Oh, what the... My God. No, it seems that my YouTube window has crashed as well. Oh, my God. What the? I don't deserve this. Honestly, bros, I'm telling you, this is just ridiculous. Right, let's just ridiculous. Let's get the YouTube window up and see if we can. Right, 007, Sunny Jim, Otto Stormhart, Robert Verlinden, Arakeen Greenmoon. Good to see you all, guys. Good to see you all. And on Odyssey we have MK. Great to see you, MK. Hope you are well. Right. Technical issues abound. Today's meme, of course. Your memes aren't even illegal in the UK. Do better, bro. That is now the standard for excellent meme creation. Oh yeah, it's a pretty good meme. But would it get you arrested in the UK? Something to think about. Something to think about. Right, let's get on with the news. We start with the Blackstone Tower shooter, who has been ID'd as Shane Tamura, a half Japanese, half black guy who was originally apparently reported as a white man with a gun by CNN because that's how they roll, right? Like, white man with a gun in New York. An armed shooter attacked 345 Park Avenue in Manhattan, the tower housing Blackstone Incorporated's global headquarters and the National Football League, among others, killing at least 5 people. Now, this is the story mainstream media is going with. This dude, he had some kind of like brain damage, bro. And he was angry at football. Yes, he was angry at football. And he meant to go and shoot up the NFL for reasons. I don't really follow football, so I don't really understand this part of the universe. But that's what they're saying. He was mad at football, right? He wanted to shoot up the NFL, but instead he just happened to wind up on the 33rd floor. Nothing suspicious about that. And managed to accidentally shoot the head of Blackstone's real estate investment trust. I mean, I don't know. I mean, I guess it's possible, but, the shooter then killed himself, apparently shooting himself in the chest with an AR-15. That would be, I don't know how long his AR was, like maybe it had like a shortened barrel, but that is going to be tricky, right, on a full-length AR-15. I'm just saying, right, you would require like a little bit of coordination to get that right. It's not like you can just like flip the thing around and be like, boom, boom, right? Thank you, Sadie. Yes, exactly. AR-15 in the chest, it's a bit weird. Shut up, don't think about it, right? It was a short barrel rifle. Okay, so maybe it was a shorty AR. There have been a lot of speculation that some of these pictures are AI. Is Twitter going to even let me look at this? Right, so this is allegedly the weapon used. What a crappy what a crappy gun, right? Look at the sight on that thing, right? That sight is clearly for like long range work. What is he? I'm just going to grab my AR-15 and I'm going to go and shoot up football because I'm angry at football. Now, look, you see, like, even so, right, like how long this thing is. So supposedly he just turned that around and shot himself in the chest. Okay. It's one of those like god awful AR, variants where people like, put like shit like, torches on the front and like, make it all unbalanced and stuff like that. Very, very beaten up. Look, I don't know, right? I don't know. I'm just saying. The motive for this will be very telling. Was the shooter someone with a bone to pick with Blackstone or capitalism? Was this another Luigi Mangione? Wait, is that the guy's? That's the guy's name, right? Luigi Mangione. Isn't there like a singer called someone Mangione? Or am I just having like a senior moment, right? Is it a former employee? No, apparently not. Apparently he was basically like a security guard or something like that. But the weird thing is that he drove all the way from Nevada. Now this is apparently inside the Blackstone offices. People are saying that this pic is AI. Wait, where's the I've got like an image of this here somewhere. Where is it? Right. Now. It zoomed me out. Really, It's fine. It's fine. It's totally fine. Right, here we go. Now, the reason why people are saying that this image apparently is AI is that if you look in the center here, it looks like these two monitors are sort of fused together in a very, very strange kind of way. I don't know. There's like looks like there's a weird microwave on top of all the, sofas. Why are there so many sofas in the Blackstone offices? Although, of course, the 33rd floor was not actually the offices of Blackstone. It was the offices of Rubin Real Estate, I believe is the name. And they're the people that basically own the building, right? So, the shooter was found dead on the 33rd floor after shooting himself in the chest. I don't know, that gun doesn't look that long. Maybe he's got really long arms. Full shot. Good to see you, mate. After basically sort of trying to say, he's a Republican. He's like Antifa. Is he black? Is he Chinese? Is he white? No one really knows. He was a football player in high school. What the fuck does that mean? And look, basically, right? Like nobody really knows what the hell's going on. Why is this open? Why do I have these windows open? What is going on here? Right. Witness says it was ringing. The shots were ringing throughout the building. Allegedly, basically, what happened was he drove up to the building, got out of his car, shot the policeman who was standing guard outside the building. A guy called something Islam. Then someone tried to run away to block the elevators. They were then shot. And he then let a woman go who bore a significant similarity to the sort of alleged alleged target of this alleged assassination attempt. But no one really knows. Here's some footage. Oh god, I hope this works.
What was going on in there? You guys
Just saw shooting. We heard shootings.
Can you tell me what you heard?
Ran into the room.
How many shots did you hear?
Like at least 10.
At least 10 shots?
It was so loud. It was like ringing through the building.
Did you happen to hear? Did you happen to see the shooting?
No, I just ran. Everyone just ran.
And when you ran away, did you see anything? See anyone hurt? Nothing hurt?
Everyone was just hiding for like half an hour or something. Just hold up. It was very, really scary.
I'm glad the sound's working. Nice. Thank you very much, guys. So yes, there's just general sort of panic and all that kind of stuff. I think this is more from the, but it was all over very, very quickly. This is the thing. There was no hostage thing. It looks like he shot these people and then immediately killed himself, right? This just sounds sussy. I don't know what really happened, but I believe I have developed a bit of sixth sense for sussy stuff, and I suspect there's stuff that we're not being told about. Let's see, what else have we got? So he used an M4 rifle. They found a revolver in his car. A black BMW rolled up to Park Avenue and a man stepped out with an M4 rifle, immediately gunning down Officer Diradul Islam before spraying the lobby with bullets. The shooter let a woman pass. Again, this is the woman who bore a striking resemblance to the head of Blackstone's REIT unit. Killed two more, one man and one woman, before shooting himself. In total, 4 victims are dead. including Islam, and one man remains in critical condition. Now, they're going with he had a documented history of mental illness, bro. I mean, maybe it kind of looks like a hit to me, right? Look, if I'm honest, right, this looks like a hit, right? Like that someone. I mean, people would be like, well, why would you do a hit if you were suicidal? There's a bunch of possible reasons, right? Like maybe they say, look, right, if you do this hit, we'll give your family like all of this money and relocate them, right? If you don't do it, right, like we're gonna, kill your family. Like there's all kinds of ways why this could go down. Hayes Reviews, good to see you, man. How you been? This is from the police press conference.
Inside of that vehicle, officers found a rifle case with rounds, a loaded revolver, ammunition, and magazines, a backpack, and medication prescribed to Mr. Tamora. The vehicle was searched by our bomb squad and found to be clear of any explosives. The initial investigation shows that Mr. Tamora's vehicle traveled cross-country through Colorado on July 26th, then Nebraska and Iowa on July 27th, and then in Columbia, New Jersey, as recently as 4:24 p.m. today. The vehicle entered New York City shortly thereafter. According to our law enforcement partners in Las Vegas, Mr. Tamora has a documented mental health history. His motives are still under investigation, and we are working to understand why he targeted this particular location.
Now, why this particular location? If it was like just a sort of random killing, well, apparently the Blackstone building has been listed on sort of, how can I put this delicately, great Jewish locations in New York by the pro-Palestine sort of resistance people doing that stochastic terrorism, being like, well, we're not saying like to do anything, but obviously, right, like if someone did, right, like all that kind of like stuff. But again, I don't know, right? This is the guy. I don't know, that picture on the left looks kind of cool, like something out of Reservoir Dogs. He's just, he's just like strolling in there, being like, here I go killing again. Is he black or Chinese though? Right? Is the real question. This is from the press conference by Eric Adams, the New York mayor.
This never gets easy. I always go back to the beginning of my role as mayor in Harlem Hospital, where Officer Mora and Rivera were assassinated. I remember watching their family members enter the hospital and a loud yell of, "No, God, please tell me it's not true." And I thought about that today when the notification came over from the police commissioner that we had a number of shots fired and we're still unraveling what took place. And our hearts are heavy.
Yeah, I don't think they know anything, which is weird in of itself. I think it was Crisps who was saying allegedly he took the wrong elevator. This is apparently a thing because it's such a tall building. Different elevator banks like access different parts of the building, and the 33rd floor is apparently like the start of the second bit, and so it is allegedly was trying to go further up in the building, but the elevators had been locked down, so he just started blasting, bros. I don't know. Let me see. Okay, there's the weird. This is the same one, right? Now, this is the victim of importance, Wesley Lepatner, a towering figure in finance, leading Blackstone's $56 billion real estate investment trust with brilliance, but her deeper legacy was built on Jewish values, generosity, and leadership at AJ United Jewish Association, Federation of New York. So she was very, very involved in sort of, Jewish philanthropy and stuff like that. I don't know how you would square that with buying up single family homes, right? Of course, the lefties are celebrating, basically saying that like it's another Luigi Bros, right? The capitalists will be afraid of our fucking our downtrodden masses. Maybe. I mean, I don't know. And finally, apparently the Blackstone Real Estate Investment Trust was responsible for taking $48 billion of residential housing off the market and renting, specifically targeting areas with high immigration rates so they have Section 8 to rent. Now, this is an increasingly common business model we are seeing throughout the West. Since the governments have basically agreed to support all these migrants with government money, it makes a lot more sense for these kind of like trusts to buy these properties out, then lease them to the government where they ram them full of migrants and they get a guaranteed return because the government can't default on the rent. We're seeing this all over the West. This is happening a lot in the UK as well. So hardly a very moral sort of business. Apparently mainly concentrated in Texas and Florida. So I don't know, make of that what you will. 4chan is basically saying like it's again doing the whole schizo thing. It's all AI, bros. Oh no, wait, that's Sandy Hook. What the hell, man? I'm not with it tonight. I don't know what the hell's going on. I thought there was like something in this. Apparently not. Right. Okay. Right. So like, never mind. Oh yeah, that's the picture. We got an entropy. $5 from MK, just making sure entropy didn't break too. What a week. Thank you, MK. I very much appreciate that. Entropy is indeed working. Let me give you like a smoking dollar bill. Thank you so much. You too can donate towards therapy beers and other general expenses keeping the channel alive. Do so via Entropy, or you can do like Rumble rants and that kind of stuff, or send Odyssey coins, or even send crypto if you are so inclined. Linkies in the video description and all that kind of like stuff. Please send Earth monies.
We need Earth monies to appear as normal Earth pigs. Mini Moose, how much have we earned?
I remember the days when tuna was worth nothing. Those are the days, bro. We were so innocent back then. Right, our second story. I can't figure this. This is going to break all of the Jacebergs, right? They'll be like, but if the Jays like literally control everything in the West, then how is it that countries like the UK can push back against the state of Israel? How is that even possible? Oh my God! My my cognitive frame is breaking. Now I mean, the thing is, particularly about the UK and countries like France. I believe it was France that actually started this trend. Is they have very significant Muslim populations, right? So you could make the argument that what is essentially happening is that you have another organized client group pushing back against this organized client group, right? And it's all a bit of a mess with the sort of native population basically kind of like caught in the middle. The Labour Party, for example, is in an extremely weak position with a whole bunch of people threatening to basically hive off and form their new Islamo-leftist party, which will, contain people like Zara Sultana and probably like George Galloway and, all those great, people, sort of, a mix of white and brown who just love Islam. I mean, miss me with that gay shit, personally, but UK is to recognise the state of Palestine in September. So in about a month, right? So about twice 2 more weeks. Wait, where's my 2 more weeks sticker? I need the 2 more weeks. Here we go. 2 more weeks, bros. Are you ready? Mikey Bikey, it's a client group boogaloo. yeah. Basically, yes, in about 2 more weeks. The cabinet agrees to support Middle East roadmap at emergency meeting called amid the humanitarian crisis in Gaza. Now, you might be saying, wasn't there already a humanitarian crisis in Gaza? Well, yes, right? But there's humanitarian crisis and there's humanitarian crisis. Israel recently cut off all incoming aid into Gaza. There have been persistent reports that they've just been like taking aid coming to Gaza and just sticking it in pits and setting it on fire. They're not fucking around, right? They're like, they're like, look, we want you all gone, right? Why don't you go and live in the West, right? The West already let like tons and tons and tons of like Muslims in. What's another like, few million, right? They'll barely notice. And this seems to have basically sort of galvanized the rest of the world into action. There have been like aid drops, like actual aerial aid drops by, I believe, the UK and the US. And Israel very, very reluctantly agreed to start allowing food back into the Gaza Strip. This was after, persistent claims that the new aid distribution organization that was set up after the UN was basically stopped from distributing aid. I think they're called the GFT. Anyone know what that stands for? The Global something something? Anyway, apparently there's like a ton of footage of people gathering at these aid points and then basically being like gunned down, right? I've kind of like stopped watching footage from Gaza because I have enough shit on my brain, and but I do keep hearing these reports pop up, and given sort of like the general tenor from the Israelis, basically they're sick of the Gazans being there, they want them gone by any means necessary. I don't find this sort of impossible to believe. Unlike some people, I do not believe that Israel is the most moral state in the world or any of that bullshit. They are a state like any other, and they, because of their close ties with the US, they have protections in the international community that pretty much no other country has, and they are exploiting this protection to fulfill a sort of both territorial and religious goal, as it were. Starmer's cabinet has agreed to a roadmap for peace. I mean, have you asked the Israelis about this? Apparently, Starmer had like a call with Netanyahu. Mate, can you imagine how that went down? be like a kitten trying to like negotiate with a direwolf. Starmer being like, Israel, could you please do... No. Could you please... No. Remember the Holocaust. No. But, it would be quite nice if you could... No. Starmer just like, oh my god, is my camera crashing? What the fuck is going on, man? I don't know. Mossad's in my computer, clearly, right? So yes, after coming under intense domestic pressure over the mounting humanitarian crisis in the territory and calls to follow France in acknowledging statehood, the Prime Minister recalled his cabinet from their summer break to approve the plan after holding talks with Donald Trump in Scotland. Now, this is interesting, right? This would seem to suggest that the US has signed off on this. Perhaps the US is in a tricky position. Trump especially is getting a lot of flack for supporting the Israelis, and maybe Trump's like, listen, well, we can't acknowledge Palestine as a state, but, maybe Europe could do it, and then, we could sort of reluctantly come in. The plan, apparently, is they're going to bring back the PLO. Yes, the Palestine Liberation Organization, famously headed by Yasser Arafat, that was then replaced by Hamas with the help of the Israelis in a totally sort of like fair election, and there was like nothing wrong with it. The more cynical people would say that this is basically sort of like a two-toe shuffle, right? They'll shuffle the PLO back in, right? And then, once the PLO, stops being useful, they'll shuffle like someone else in. But the PLO is, compared to Hamas, a much more moderate organization. I don't know how many of them are left. The PLO and Hamas famously do not like each other. I'm pretty sure the PLO is sort of mostly secular, where, of course, Hamas is very, very Islamic. So Trump said that the issue had not come up. Yeah, I'm pressing X to doubt on that, right? So supposedly Starmer and Trump had a long chat, but they never mentioned Gaza, despite the fact that the entire Labour Party is like shrieking about that stuff 24/7. Yeah, pressing X to doubt on this. Starmer told his ministers that because of the catastrophic situation on the ground in Gaza and the diminishing prospect of reaching a two-state solution, now was the right time to finally move. Now, look, we've seen this song and dance before, right? They'll pivot back to a two-state solution, and then they'll be like, we need like 6 months to a year to do the transfer of power and work out all the details. And meanwhile, right, the facts on the ground like don't change and it keeps going. I think this is just basically a delaying tactic on the part of the Israelis. Ultimately, according to Starmer, though, ultimately the only way to bring this humanitarian crisis to an end is through a long-term settlement. No, what the fuck are you talking about? There's not going to be any long-term... what are you... How are you going to persuade the Israelis? What, you're going to call them up and be like, hi, it's Keir Starmer from England. I know that you have a religious blood war with the Palestinians that has been going on for about 60 years. But if you could stop doing that, that would be awesome. Dude, the fucking... Israelis are gonna fucking just be like, fuck off. I don't know, right? Livy Drusilla, how about releasing the sausages? That's right. Oh, we have another entry from Mikey Bikey, PLO2 Electric Boogaloo for $3. Thank you very much, Senor Bikey. Wait, where's my smoking dollar sign? See, dollar sign smoking a cigar. That's how I feel every single time I get a super chat. Bros, right? All goes towards my private island. Oh, you wouldn't believe how much money you can make being a niche YouTube streamer. Oh yeah, because YouTube really, really loves me. It's like basically banished to the dark corners of YouTube. It's fine. I mean, it's basically looking like YouTube's just gonna like start banning everyone like me anyway. So it's fine. I got Rumble. By the way, now is a good time to remind you, if you're not signed up to my Rumble channel, please make an account and sign up. Like, I've just got no idea what's going to happen with YouTube. I could wake up tomorrow and YouTube could just be, you're banned. If you would like your channel back, please submit, a photo of your anus in, high resolution. And I'll be like, no. Starmer added, I have always said that we will recognize a Palestinian state as a contribution to a proper peace process at the moment of maximum impact for the two-state solution. What the fuck? Oh, this is so delusional. This is why I suspect this is a ploy by the Israelis, because this is what state? Gaza is completely destroyed. They have no infrastructure, right? They don't even have access to a fucking coastline, right? About the only thing they've got is rubble, bitterness, Hamas, and representation at the United Nations General Assembly, right? No other Muslim countries have come to help them, right? Apart from the Yemenis, right? The Yemenis said they would send 100,000 troops to Gaza, but they have to get permission from Saudi Arabia to cross Saudi Arabian territory. The Saudis aren't fucking doing that. Oh yes, we will totally allow 100,000 Houthi fighters into our fucking country with the promise that, they'll go and attack Gaza and then go home afterwards. Are you fucking kidding me? So, they're screwed. This two-state solution thing has been it's been going on for ages, right? So there's a famine happening. The Israelis and their sort of supporters are like, nah, brah, it's not a famine, right? Why would you say that, bro? It's just, whatever. It's yet another one of those things where, people just sort of pick an ideological side in a war and they just sort of go like full tilt. Basically, I'm not really a supporter of that. Both sides, in my opinion, are basically sort of acting in their own rational self-interest. You just have to understand what they define as their self-interest, right? If it doesn't make sense, then you probably don't understand what their priorities are. You know what I mean, right? And with Israel-Palestine, it is a shit show, right? It makes Russia-Ukraine look literally like a short bedtime story, right? This is like the conflict of all conflicts. So let me see. So yes, so supposedly this recognition is going to take place before the UN General Assembly in New York this September, unless Israel agreed to a series of conditions set out in the UK-led 8-point peace plan and backed by allies. Oh yeah? You're going to have a vote in the Security Council about that? Well, if you do have a vote in the Security Council, the Americans will block it. And even if the Americans don't block it, the Israelis will ignore it because that's how they roll, right? Like, the Israelis are famous for just ignoring UN Security Council declarations, right? And then after they've like ignored like 10 or 20 of them, they start whinging and saying like, "Oi, we're being persecuted by the UN Security Council." Of course, if it's anyone else that ignores the Security Council sort of like decree, if it's like an enemy of the West or an enemy of Israel, then all of a sudden they're like, "Oh, yeah, you ignored the UN Security Council. It's a, fucking come on, right?" Right. So the plan is that Israel has to take substantive steps. Ooh, well, that's very specific. To end the situation in Gaza, reach a ceasefire, commit to no annexation of the West Bank. They're not going to agree to that. Or if they do agree to that, they'll be like, "Oh yeah, but we can keep all the territory that we already have, right?" As well as a long-term peace process. A long-term peace process. See? I was right. Oh, it'll take years before we can, before we can possibly resolve this very complicated situation. And meanwhile, like while they're doing it, they'll just continue to like gobble up territory. Israel, of course, was saying, it rejects the statement. It's a reward for Hamas. They're still focused on releasing the hostages. I don't even know how many of them are alive at this point. How long's it been since October? Like a year and a half since it all kicked off. Speaking of October 7th, shit, man. So there's like footage out from a bunch of soldiers in the Israeli Knesset, basically saying that these are the soldiers that were like by the Gaza border, basically saying that they were given orders to stand down on October 7th. I came across this and managed to translate it from this thing, and now it's become the most popular tweet I ever did tweet, even though it's just a translation. Like, so my entire feed is now clogged with this one goddamn tweet being like again and again and again. And see, look at this is it. Right. Anyway, I'll play it for you guys since everyone's talking about it.
6:30 בבוקר, 7 באוקטובר, אתה במוצב.
אצלנו ה7 באוקטובר מתחיל לפני 6:30. אני הייתי לוחם במחלקת מרגמות בגדוד 13, גולני, ובאותו לילה אני, יותם סרור, הסמל שלי תמר בן יהודה, זיכרונו לברכה, שלושתנו עושים לילה לבן. הרשינו לעצמנו בשבתות וחגים במיוחד, לעשות לילה לבן עד לכוננות עם שחר, ואתם יודעים, יש לנו זמן לישון מחלקת מרגמות עד לכוננות הבאה. אז ב5:20 בבוקר אנחנו יושבים ליד הקשר כדי לא להעיר מאזין, והסמג"ד שלי, ניר ברוינפלג, שגם הוא נפצע קשה, וברוך השם הוא שרד, פתאום עולה בקשר בהודעה מוזרה. כל התחנות, לא יודע למה, לא יודע איך, משהו בסגנון הזה, אין סיור בגדר עד 9 בבוקר.
באיזה שעה זה?
5:20 בבוקר.
כל תחנות נשארים כאן משנה, אז מבחינת קרקע ואויב אין לנו דברים משמעותיים. מבחינת כוחותינו יצאה הנחיה מהחטיבה שעד השעה 9 בבוקר מול הערכת המצב, אף כלי לא מגיע לבורמה. אני חוזר שוב, עד 9 בבוקר ואל מול הערכת המצב, אף כלי לא לבורמה. נמצאים בנקודות זינוק אחוריות, מהנחיית חטיבה, לא יודע בדיוק למה, לא שואל יותר מדי, זאת ההנחיה, זה מה שאנחנו עושים.
קצת לפני שהכל מתחיל. ואיתמר דופק לנו פרצוף כזה של מה? ואתה יודע, אנחנו חיילים פשוטים סך הכל, לוחמים, לא מפקדים ולא קצינים שנוכל לשאול שאלות, זו הוראה של הסמג"ד. מקבלים את הפקודה הזאת ולא שואלים שאלות. הורדת פקודה רגילה.
So yeah. So there are now... So, I mean, this whole thing has real 9/11 vibes. And there's a whole bunch of people on Twitter, like, losing their mind about this. And I'm like, wait, you didn't know this, right? Like, this was very clearly like a 9/11... People knew this, like, a year ago. I don't know, like, maybe it's because there's, like, video proof now. I don't know, man. But, like, a lot of people are really like, oh, my God, like, you know, how can you ignore this evidence? I'm like, yeah, I mean, that's how modern states roll, bro, because no one wants to be accused of being the aggressor, you see, because that's the, you know, sort of like high crime under international law. So people just engineer events so that they can be seen as retaliating against stuff, right? You know, if people had studied like IR realism, they'd know this. Yes, YouTube chat is quiet tonight. What are you doing, YouTube chats? So Netanyahu is like, a jihadist state on Israel's border today will threaten Britain tomorrow. Is that a threat? This is the thing with the Israelis, right? Like, so many of the things that they say, like, sound like a backhanded, like, threat, right? It's just, they're really expert at doing that. Like, oh, that's a lovely country you've got there. It'd be a shame if anything happened to it. Everything's so nice and peaceful over there. It just... Oh, mate, they're just like the most insane mafioso types, right? Like, honestly. So yeah, they're gonna make an assessment in September. So look, I think what this means basically is that the whole sort of active phase of the Gaza war is drawing to a close. The Israeli troops are very, very tired. They've got a war with Iran that they're trying to get off the ground. And so the next phase, you know, if history is any guide, will be about like 5 years where they argue over, like, you know, who can like lead and and they'll restrict aid, and there'll be like some rebuilding, and all at the same time they'll be like basically shipping as many Gazans out to the west as they possibly can. And the whole thing will just keep rolling on, because you can't solve problems like this. This is one of the big failings of international law, really. Here's Starmer making the announcement.
7th of October 2023, Hamas perpetrated the worst massacre in Israel's history. Every day since then, the horror has continued. The hostages are still being held today. The Palestinian people have endured terrible suffering. Now, in Gaza, because of a catastrophic failure of aid, we see starving babies, children too weak to stand, images that will stay with us for a lifetime. The suffering must end. Yesterday I discussed this with President Trump, and we're mounting a major effort to get humanitarian supplies back in by air, and UK aid has been airdropped into Gaza today, and crucially, by land. We need to see at least 500 trucks entering Gaza every day. But ultimately, the only way to bring this humanitarian crisis to an end is through a long-term settlement. So we are supporting the US, Egyptian and Qatari efforts to secure a vital ceasefire. That ceasefire must be sustainable, and it must lead to a wider peace plan, which we're developing with our international partners. This plan will deliver security and proper governance in Gaza and pave the way for negotiations on a two-state solution. Our goal remains a safe and secure Israel alongside a viable and sovereign Palestinian state. But right now, that goal is under pressure like never before.
Oh, shut the fuck up. There's never going to be a viable Palestinian state. You guys are fucking deluded, right? It is never going to happen, right? The Israelis are going to get their wish. They're going to basically like deport everyone from Gaza, or as many people as it makes no difference, right? And it'll be the West's problem then, and they can, I don't know, set up like a casino or something like that. It'll be like, Trump land on the Eastern Mediterranean, right? Like
I've always said that we will recognise a Palestinian state as a contribution to a proper peace process at the moment of maximum impact for the two-state solution. With that solution now under threat, this is the moment to act. So today...
The solution is now under threat. What the fuck is this, guys? You see why I don't believe any of this, right? Like, now that like the entirety of Gaza has been destroyed, and like, I don't know how much of the West Bank at this point, right? Like, now the two-state solution is under threat. Come on.
Today, as part of this process towards peace, I can confirm the UK will recognise the State of Palestine by the United Nations General Assembly in September, unless the Israeli government takes substantive steps to end the appalling situation in Gaza, agree to a ceasefire, and commit to a long-term sustainable peace, reviving the prospect of a two-state solution.
Right, that's enough of you, Starmer. You git. Now, this is Firas Modad from the Lotus Eaters. He's a pretty good follow. I would recommend. It is embarrassing to see Starmer and Macron going all in for a two-state solution when it is obviously dead and buried. 10% of Israel's Jewish population lives in West Bank settlements. Only a catastrophic defeat in war can create the conditions for their displacement. Recognising a Palestinian state now is simply ridiculous. It's obviously driven by domestic competition for the Muslim vote, making it more obvious than it already was that parallel Muslim societies in the West won't integrate. This is idiotic. The two-state solution died in 2002 after Sharon helped provoke the mass murderous Second Intifada. Neither the Israelis nor the Palestinians want to live side by side in peace. There you go, right? Like, he's right, okay? Here's David Lammy, like absolute waste of space of a foreign minister in front of the UN. Oh God, this guy fucking mate. It's like, that model of politics where you just assume that like a shadowy cabal basically like runs everything, and they just select like the stupidest people possible to front for their policies, right? Like you just pick like the most craven and venal people, right? The kind of people who just, they want to just wear a suit and stand in front of a podium and just be like, oh yes, look at me, I'm standing in front of a podium. But other than that, like literally have no brain. That's basically David Lammy.
It is with the hand of history on our shoulders that His Majesty's government therefore intends to recognise the State of Palestine when the UN General Assembly gathers in September here in New York. It is with the hand of history.
And what's that going to do, right? What is UNGA recognition actually going to do, right? Is it going to open them up to like a bunch of like Western aid money? Is it going to like aid a whole bunch of Gazans to like flee to the West, right? Like you can see like why I'm just incredibly cynical about this, right? Israel, of course, reject, but right, they haven't yet tried to remove any of these politicians, right? You know they could if they wanted to, right? Like, come on, right? You telling me the Israelis don't have dirt on Starmer? Bitch, please. Come on. JG Loophole. Newsfist, you are just intimidated by his intellect. It's true, JG. I'm just emasculated by the awe of David Lammy's intellect. I can't compete. right? You have uncovered my deep secret. So look, Israel rejects the statement by the Prime Minister of the United Kingdom. That is very neutral language from Israel, right? Usually they would be much more acerbic. So yeah, sussy, right? Now this was followed by Canada announcing that they were going to do the same thing on literally the same day, which again makes my sussy gland be sussy, y'all.
The reasons I cited earlier, Canada intends to recognize the state of Palestine at the 80th session of the United Nations General Assembly in September 2025. This intention is predicated on the Palestinian Authority's commitment to much-needed reforms, including commitments by the Palestinian Authority's President Abbas to fundamentally reform its governance, to hold general elections in 2026 in which Hamas can play no part, and to demilitarize the Palestinian state. Canada will increase its efforts in supporting strong democratic governance in Palestine and the contributions of its people to a more peaceful and hopeful future. I spoke today with President Abbas at length to reaffirm his commitments. Canada reiterates that Hamas must immediately release all hostages taken in their horrific terrorist attack of October 7th, that Hamas must disarm, and that Hamas must play no role in the future governance of Palestine. The reasons I cited earlier.
So there you go. Elections in 2026. When in 2026? Who knows? That'll give them like a year, right? They'll probably build the, zones where all the Gazans can concentrate, and then they'll. Oh God, mate, it's fine. And the Australians apparently are also going to recognise. They're waiting for the right moment. Apparently, right? So I don't know. Albanese's being a bit more sketchy there. Right, our final segment of the night. The repercussions from the Online Safety Act continue to reverberate around the world. Anyone who thinks that the fact that all these rules rolled out at the same time all over the Western world was anything to do with the World Economic Forum and their long-stated policy of controlling social media for the children is clearly, right, some kind of conspiratorial retard. I don't want to hear any of that talk in the chat, right? Anyone saying that the WEF is responsible for this, despite their very, very detailed plans for doing so that have been in operation for over like 5 years, you're banned. I'm not going to hear that kind of like talk. These are all decisions of completely separate sovereign governments that just all happen to take place literally within the same 2-week period all over the West, right? It's just a coincidence, right? I don't want to hear anything otherwise. So YouTube has brought in like a bunch of other stuff. This is why I'm saying like please follow me on Rumble, because I could just get yeeted off YouTube like that. They're going to beginning to use AI to monitor user behavior and psychology to determine whether viewers in the US are over or under the age of 18. Yeah, I'm sure that's the only thing they're going to be using AI to monitor for, right? That's totally it, right? Like just to see whether you're, and then as soon as like that's in place, they'll be like, we really should make sure that we monitor for like hate speech as well, right? We don't want the under 18s being, exposed to hate, right? so fucking transparent, right? And basically if it decides that if the algorithm decides that you're under 18, it will turn on digital well-being tools and disable personalized advertising and add safeguards to recommendations, right? So you're gonna get like a neutered version of YouTube, even more neutered. But don't worry, you will have the chance to verify yourself using a credit card or government ID. So, there is that, right? Which is, of course, awesome. Now, this is from Australia has basically banned YouTube accounts for everyone under the age of 16, which happens to be the new voting age. Which must be another coincidence. So literally the year that you're able to vote is also the year that you get access to YouTube. If only I could think of some nefarious plan, right? Sede Sapiente, they're planning something big. Yeah, it sure fucking looks like it, doesn't it?
Following advice from the E-Safety Commissioner, young people under the age of 16 will not be able to have accounts on YouTube.
We want kids to know who they are before platforms assume who they are.
What the fuck does that even mean? We want kids to know who they are before YouTube tells them who they are. Right. So we want the government to tell them who they are before people on YouTube get a chance to tell them who they are, right? Okay, right, fine.
Which is why I want to be clear about YouTube. The evidence cannot be ignored that 4 out of 10 Australian kids report that their most recent harm was on YouTube.
We want Australian parents and families to know that we've got your back. We know this is not the only solution and there's more to do, but it will make a difference. Following advice from the E-Safety Commissioner.
Oh, God. Man, I mean, you think politics in the UK is bad? That politicians in Australia are like, Yiz, what the fuck? You can't be harmed by a YouTube video. This is ludicrous. Well, you say that, Yiz, right? But what about my online harms, bro? Right? Now, if you thought the Online Safety Act was bad, it turns out there's like a whole bunch of other stuff coming down the pipe. Because, of course, there is, right? Because, they can't just leave us the fuck alone. They have a transformative agenda that they are pursuing. From next year, Ofcom will be able to require companies to provide any info about their algorithms. The Americans are not going to wear this, right? These are trade secrets, basically, right? Access internal documents, data, technical infrastructure, and source code to perform its regulatory function. So Ofcom basically wants to say to all of these big tech companies, right, that they can just rock up at any time, rifle through their source code, rifle through all their internal documentation, and then basically like recommend changes. And you know the kind of people that will be recommending changes, right? Like, they won't be technical experts or anything like this. Like, this is the Americans are going to shit themselves, honestly. Ofcom will have the right to enter premises to review all this, as well as powers to send named officers to jail. I don't know why anyone would want to set up a tech company in Britain. Yes, so the UK is willingly chasing all tech businesses out of the country. Yes. The UK clearly is not collapsing fast enough. Look, yes, you got to understand there is another problem. People are noticing that the UK is collapsing. Which is, not a problem in of itself, but people are starting to get like angry about it and like blaming the government. And they can't have that, obviously, right? They must suffer the collapse in silence. Look, the amount of powers that Ofcom has just basically sort of been given is insane, right? This is truly USSR kind of like territory. The amount of like stuff that companies must follow is Byzantine in the extreme, massively draconian. Look at all of this shit, right? You've got to like constantly do these assessments. To follow this stuff, you'd basically need to create an entire new compliance department, which of course would basically sort of be like a WEF fifth column, right, inside your company, right? Like sucking out any innovation and basically being like, oh, I don't like that. Oh, I don't like that. Could you change this? Could you change that? And of course, when any kind of crisis breaks out, they'll have like, the sort of ability to phone them up and be like, I'll block that. I don't like that. Block that. Destroy that guy's life. Look at all this. This is, and the way the language of this is so fucking unctuous, right? Check if the Online Safety Act applies to you. Check how to comply, right? There've been like a bunch of like letters already sent to people like Gab and 4chan and Kiwi Farms. And particularly the Americans are very, very upset like by this because, they're just basically like, oh yeah, you now have a whole bunch of like new responsibilities and duties. And if you don't follow them, you could be jailed, right? And the Americans are like, excuse me? I don't see no America on your shirt. What the fuck is this? This is going to be a distinct bone of contention between the US and the UK and probably the rest of the Western world, to be honest. And this is David Cameron, by the way, in 2014, at the start of this entire stuff. So 10 years, bro. 10 years until they got it done.
We must work together to take down illegal online material like the recent videos of ISIL murdering hostages. And we must stop the so-called non-violent extremists from inciting hatred and intolerance in our schools, our universities, and yes, even our prisons. Of course, some will argue that this is not compatible with free speech and intellectual inquiry. But I ask you, would we sit back and allow right-wing extremists, Nazis or Ku Klux Klansmen to recruit on our university campuses? No. So we shouldn't stand by and just allow any form of non-violent extremism. We must work together to take down a...
So yes, right, we are concerned about, violent Muslim extremism, but we're even more concerned about non-violent right-wing extremism and the spread of right-wing ideas. So there you go, right? We got another super chat. Mikey Bike for $3. I got my VPN shortly after this speech. Wise move, Mikey Bike. I'll be talking all about that on Empire of Lies tonight, by the way. Come along. It should be a good time. What else have we got? So this is the letter that they sent to Rumble. Check the tone of this. We note your position that you do not consider Rumble to be in scope of the Act on the grounds that you do not have a significant number of online users in the UK and that the UK is not a target market, as well as your belief that there is no material risk of significant harm to UK users of Rumble. We have not assessed or reached any decision on this matter and reserve our position in this regard. Further to the guidance note that we have already shared with you, it is for Rumble to assess whether or not it is subject to the duties contained in the Act and to the extent it is to ensure it is in compliance with those duties. So you do the assessment, right? You pay for it, right? And then you send it to us and then we're like, oh, we don't really agree. Do it again. We will be monitoring Rumble's position carefully and will be in touch should we become aware of anything that contradicts the above position or any incidents on your service that cause us to believe the level of risk to Rumble's UK users is of concern. We would strongly encourage Rumble to take the steps required by the Act and protect UK users of internet services from content that is illegal in the UK or potentially harmful to UK children. In that spirit, I would like to highlight an upcoming event that Ofcom is hosting. The Online Safety Act explained how to comply with the rules to protect children. So, basically, right, Rumble's going to probably have to block, range ban the UK. Increasingly, this is happening. You better have a VPN, right? Now, the Americans are not happy about this. White House warns Starmer, stop threatening US tech companies, free speech. I suspect that the UK is going to be like, well, if you don't like it, just block us, right? Which means that soon in the UK, unless you've got a VPN, about the only thing that will be available will be, YouTube or Reddit or anything else, and you'll have to give an ID in order to access those, which is just how they like it. The White House has warned Starmer to stop threatening American tech companies amid mounting backlash over Britain's new online safety law. Members of Trump's administration are monitoring the OSA with great interest and concern after key allies said it was censoring free speech and imposing unfair burdens on US businesses. The law allows the British government to levy massive fines on companies like Apple, Truth Social, and X if it finds that rules on hate speech have been broken. Yeah, good luck finding Truth Social. I feel like Truth Social is going to be a bit immune of that. What's this? I can't scroll up. Something about VTuber tech. Thanks for that, man. I'll look into that. I presume you mean for facial verification and stuff. Trump has made it clear that free speech is one of our most cherished freedoms as Americans. Accordingly, we have taken decisive action against foreign actors who have engaged in extraterritorial censorship affecting our companies and fellow citizens. We will continue to monitor developments in the UK with great interest and concern. Now, apparently, yes. So Congressman Jim Jordan, chair of the House Judiciary GOP Committee, said the law was an attack on American companies. Weirdly enough, it is actually Jim Jordan, an American congressman, who is doing the most to fight for free speech in the UK. I guess because he can't be arrested for saying spicy stuff, right? He's, you know, they're preparing like an entire report. He's doing like a congressional committee on it. So, you know, thanks very much, Jim Jordan, right? Like, Ameribros, you're awesome. Like, you know, please, for the love of God, save us from this, like, bullshit, right? Let me see. Yeah, that's just, like, old bullshit, basically. And what's this we've got? Oh, yeah, that's the thing. Right, so now you're all caught up. There's like some funny stuff as well I'm covering on Empire of Lies tonight. You know, everyone's like moving to UK VPNs, and you know, the head of the, you know, science and digital media ministry was like, no, don't use VPNs. Oh, every single time you like use a VPN, you're like harming the children. Everyone's like, oh, fuck, just fuck right off. Oh God, I hate it. Anyway, that's enough of that. You know what time it is now. It's time for some cringe. I can just find the right window. Once I accepted that I am cringe, I was free to become my true self. There you go. There you go. I think there's something in that for all of us, bros. Let's see. What have we got? So this is a really, really good indication of a lot of the political class that is ruling the UK at the moment. They just don't give a fuck, right? They don't care what you've got to say. They're just, you know, look at this. This is Zia Yusuf, the sort of head of the Reform Party, basically talking to some like rando who's like a Labour MP or something, and she's just completely ignoring like what he's saying.
First of all, it's someone who built a tech company and understands tech, frankly, unlike the dinosaurs who actually wrote this bill. What we need to do is ensure that children are actually protected. What we actually haven't talked about here is this act makes children less safe. The evidence of that is 4 of the top 5 most downloaded apps in the Apple App Store as we speak are VPNs. These are virtual networks that allow children to spoof their location anywhere in the world. The 13 to 16-year-olds, anyone who's encountered a 13 to 16-year-old these days will tell you they will run rings around most baby boomers who draft this legislation. And what that then means, they're much more likely to go to places like the dark web. And I want to say this too. If you're a parent, it's really important you know this. Don't be lulled into a false sense of security. If you set parental controls and monitoring with your ISP, with Sky Internet, EE Internet, BT Internet, those VPNs defeat those VPNs defeat.
Okay, let's not all talk at the same time because that's no good for anyone.
It's literally the pantsuit dictatorship. Yes, this is apparently Thangam Debonair, Tamil father, English mother, 100% not listening. You know, look, I'm not usually a fan of Zia Yusuf, but he makes a good point. He's like, look, you're just going to drive people to VPNs, and she's like, yeah, I'm tired of listening to you. You know, look, we've got a transformative vision, and we're doing it, right? Like, you know, and if you're not with us, you're against us. We're firing up the camps. You know, everyone's been going crazy over the Sydney Sweeney ad to recruit white people into the cause. Now that, of course, the overreach has become too overreachy. There's been a lot of sort of black influencers saying black influencer things. Enjoy.
Yep, that got me too. And I don't know why. Maybe because it's just so blatant. I keep thinking that people just are not gonna believe us until we're hung out there, but then even then I feel like they'll be like, oh no, kind of like they are with I see the same perpetual self-imposed victimhood. You know, I did a post about saying, hey, like, these are the action steps that we really need to see from the good whites, where I said I need protection, put my cash out. And she goes, well, would you just rather white women just not follow you at all anymore because da da da? And I'm like, yeah, definitely
I need protection. Give me money. Stay classy, Black America. Stay classy.
Unfollow me. If you thought you being here and clicking a follow button was doing me a favor, same as that one guy, whatever his name was. Descendant of the oppressor. He's like, well, Lindsay still does a good job and I appreciate her work and labor, so I'm going to still follow her. No, definitely unfollow me. If you are any type of person, but especially a white woman who's coming to this platform thinking you're doing me a favor by clicking a follow button, leave now. Immediately now. Because honey boo boo, not this person, I'm doing you a favor by showing up and calling you out.
So there you go. Are you a good white? She is giving her emotional labor by, you know, telling you what a bad person you are, right? And God bless these she-boons for keeping the good whites in line. Look, I think Sydney Sweeney's like hot as fuck personally, right? I'm just glad that we can, you know, get back to, you know, the kind of advertising we had in like the late 90s, early 2000s, even if it is a cynical plot to, you know, gain the sort of support of of the whites for, you know, whatever horrible shit they have planned for us next. Oh my God. This is like an actual church in the US somewhere.
Only God can do. Only God can do. Only God can do. Only God can do. Do it. Do it. Do it. Do it. Do it.
Is this just like religious daycare or something? Like, honestly, is this like only God can do it? The Israeli flag in the background and I don't know, is that like a picture of Haile Selassie or something in the back there? Oh God, man. State of fucking Christianity, right? However, this Black American, strong Black American, has a plan for how to fix the problems in the US. I'm sure you're all waiting with bated breath. We have another super chat. $3 from Years the Eunuch. In response to that horror cringe video, we should deport non-whites by default. Any non-white who wishes to stay in white countries should have to prove his loyalty and goodwill towards us. That would certainly fix things, yes. Right.
It shouldn't be no Section 8. There shouldn't be no food stamps. It shouldn't be poor people. There shouldn't be no welfare. Us law-abiding taxpayers, we are sick of paying for your food. And what if there was a law right now today and it wiped y'all off the face of the earth? All the rich taxpayers that's got all this money. What if the law came down and said, you know what? This world is only for those on welfare and public aid and public assistance and food stamps and Section 8 and the government benefits. And we just gonna get rid of the rest of them. How about that?
Ladies and gentlemen, I present to you the Haitian Revolution. If you've never read about the Haitian Revolution, check it out. It's crazy shit. Basically this, right? Like, let's get rid of like all the rich people and then we'll all be rich, right? And like get rid of all the taxpayers, right? And like everything will be fine. Okay, right? Haiti, of course, after the revolution, stormed to be a powerhouse of international trade. No, it's not. It's a fucking shithole. Let's see what else we got. Oh, this is quite based. I'm just gonna play this for yucks. This is Trump, just being Trump.
But Europe has a big immigration problem. But they also liked when I said that they have one of the worst mayors anywhere in the world in London. He's a horrible mayor, nasty guy, stupid guy in my opinion, but he's a nasty man, and I want nothing to do with him. But I didn't think it was a big statement, and so many people said thank you for saying that. He's a bad guy. Khan is his name, I guess. He's done a lousy job, I can tell you that. A terrible mayor.
Mr.
No, but
President.
people liked it so much when I said that. But Europe has a...
That Khan guy, he's a terrible guy, really stupid as well. He looks very ugly. I don't like him. Thanks very much, Don. I appreciate that. We all hate him as well. Oh no, actually, I think hating him is illegal, right? So, you know, we vigorously protest. I don't know where this is from, but this is fucking hilarious. Check this out.
I can't walk. My feet don't work.
Well, what were you doing last week on Wednesday? We have evidence that you were involved in a Grand Theft Auto.
I wasn't. I was actually watching TV, sitting inside my house. Couldn't do anything.
Standing up.
I can't stand up.
Well, you were standing in the video. We have proof of that. We also have record of a purchase that you made. That's the same price as a wheelchair. You made this a week ago. 2 days after you sold the car, you purchased something that was the price of a wheelchair.
Yep. Yeah.
Guilty!
Oh!
Oh, mate, that is satisfying to watch. Holy shit. Oh, dude. Now, I think someone should give these guys like a science grant or something.
Can boiling water put out fire?
Yes.
Because they
That's
both
actually
hot.
that's a good experiment. I actually want to see that.
We might can test it.
But how hot is fire? That's another thing though. Is all fire the same accurate?
Huh?
Is all fire the same accuracy?
What do you mean?
Like is fire all the same
temperature? Can the fire be 90 degrees and can the fire be 230 degrees?
Exactly.
Okay, I get what you're saying. So can it be a hotter fire? Can it be a fire?
Can it be a boiling water fire that's the same degrees as fire?
Wait, because when you get a grease fire, you're not supposed to pour water on it.
See, because grease fire, you can't put it out with water.
What the fuck are y'all talking about?
If you boil the water so fucking hot that bitch down there fire just in liquid form, would it be able to put out a fire? Like, wouldn't it just boost the fire because it's heat?
Fire because it's so hot, see?
Come on.
It could be something.
Ladies and gentlemen, if you ever wanted a reason why Africa is Africa, that's basically it. You know what I mean, right? Like, what else we got? Oh yeah, this is funny. Enjoy.
Can I help you? Hello, are you Josh? Yeah. What's up? Nice to meet you. I'm Police Constable Archibald Waltham Comsbley, and I'm here to investigate a crime. Constable? You're from the UK, or? From London, yeah. Okay. This is the United States, though. Well, as you know, the UK did say that we would show up to America and stop online hate speech. That's really dumb, but also I've never said anything hateful online like that. Actually, last week on Facebook, someone with your username said that beans on toast is disgusting. Beans on toast is disgusting. That's like a fact. That's not hate speech at all. That's just the truth. That's classified as hate speech in the UK, so unfortunately, you've got to go to jail. Oh, a British cop is going to take me to jail now? Yeah, sorry, mate. Hey, quick question. What kind of British handgun do you guys carry as cops from England? Guns? No, we're from the UK. We don't have those. So how do you defend yourself if, say, someone doesn't want to go to jail? I have a stern voice and a positive attitude. You know what? Why don't you take one of mine? Because this is not going to be a fair fight. Wait, what?
I do enjoy that Ameribro energy. But yes, I do enjoy beans on toast occasionally. If you ever wondered how like dark money in politics works, enjoy.
Hey.
Hi, what can I do for you?
My friends and I wanted to donate some money to our boy over there.
Yeah, for sure. And how much money?
Unlimited.
Unlimited.
Yeah,
Unlimited money.
Yeah, just to show our support.
Okay. Obviously, you're gonna need one of these.
Yeah, no, totally.
So you know the rules. You can only spend this on independent things like ads supporting him.
For sure. Yeah, you can't ask him for anything in return. Oh, of course, no, we would never talk. We don't talk. And you have to show me the names of all your donors. Oh, like everyone who donated to the bucket? Yeah, just so we know like who's trying to influence him and what their agenda might be. You know, you could be from a foreign country. Yeah, no, that would be insane. So can I see your donors? Definitely, yes. He's right over here. That's your donor? Mm-hmm. That's a bag. It's a bag, yeah. It's a basically money goes into the bag, and then it goes from the bag to the bucket. So my donor is the bag. Okay, but who's putting money in the bag? I don't have to tell you that legally. There's actually there's a special loophole for bags like this. So who was that? Who was that? I don't know who that was. All right, this is ridiculous. I have to get rid of this loophole and bring transparency back to our elections. So you're not going to do anything? Oh, yeah, nothing. I mean, who do you think gave me this job? Hey! Oh! Hey, okay. I see. Okay.
What else have we got? Oh, this is just really wholesome. I feel like kids today are like much, well, I don't know. Enjoy.
Oh crap.
What do you... Can I help you?
No.
What are you doing here?
I'm really sorry. I was going to ding dong ditch you guys. I'm super sorry.
Did your dad know you're out here doing this? I will call him right now.
Yeah, he does know.
I doubt that.
What's the hold up? I've been caught!
Is that your dad?
Yeah.
He goes ding dong ditching with you?
Yeah, he says it's a core childhood memory and he wants to be a part of it.
Run! Okay.
You gotta go!
Are you kidding me? Oh my gosh.
Oh, dude. Oh, hilarious. So polite. Right. Cute animal videos to finish off. Enjoy. What else have we got? Oh, cats on remote calls. Oh, this is fucking hilarious.
I'm gonna be home soon, okay?
Hey, Buxton. Dottie.
Hey, buddy. What you doing?
Peggy.
Mando, can you hear me?
What are you doing?
Oh my gosh, you are so cute.
Meow. Dottie.
Oliver. I'm gonna be home soon, okay?
Jerry.
Buddy. Hey.
I'm gonna be home soon, okay?
Malcolm.
I'm a little scared.
Be gentle. Hey, Buxton.
What are you doing? Hi.
What else have we got? Doggos with water balls.
It's definitely down there. I can see it.
Yeah, I can see it too. I'm looking right at it.
Yeah, well, I just feel like you can't be 100% sure because you're not looking in the water with me, so I'll just double check for you. Yeah, it's definitely down there. See, if you looked in the water with me, you'd be able to see it.
Well, I see it just fine, so.
I'm telling you, man, I'm looking right at it.
Yeah, every time you do that, you're actually making it harder for me to see because you keep shaking.
Right there, dude.
You keep shaking the water around it.
I don't know, dude. I think I'm just gonna have to deep dive for it. Maybe see all this.
Okay, well, you're a dog, not a seal, so.
I'm going for it. Here we go.
No.
Not even close. No. Come on, you're getting all wet. Wow, yeah, that's at least like 3,049 or
Not a number.
2 clicks or something down there.
No, just let me think of a better plan, okay?
Tell mom and dad I'm a good boy. I'm going in.
Wait, hold on.
Saw a few sharks. I had to get out of there.
There's definitely no sharks.
Dude, come on. I think if we both go down at the same time, we'll be able to get it.
Okay, yeah, I know that sounds like a terrible plan, and I'm not gonna do that.
Seriously, I had it in my mouth. I was so close.
You at no point had that in your mouth. I saw the whole thing. You weren't even close.
I had to drop it. There was like 70 sharks.
Yeah, there's literally no sharks, so.
What else do we got? Recalcitrant cat.
I just want to be clear. You're upset because we made friends with your cat?
You're unreasonable people. You're holding our cat. Go in your yard and say, Mercury, go home. Don't come in our yard anymore.
She's she's a cat. She doesn't speak English. She's a cat, dude.
Really? Okay. All right. Well, we'll have the police department figure it out.
Absolutely. Great
All
idea.
right, you cat pervert.
I've done nothing to bring the cat. I've done nothing to bring the... I just want to be clear. You're upset because we made friends with your cat?
Cat pervert. Doggos.
Jackie, did you dig this hole?
Well. Who chewed the headset? Who chewed the headset?
What did you do?
Murphy. Dude.
I just don't understand. This is crazy to me.
Are you proud?
Which one of you dogs ate a whole quiche? It was her, wasn't it?
Jackie.
Guilty dogs. This is just really wholesome.
Oh, watch out, little puppies. Oh, well, hello. Are you the ones that ordered the pizza? Hi. Oh, hello. Hi. Back up. Okay. Do you guys recognize this smell? Smells good. It smells good. Let's see. Look at this. I see 2 kitty cats. 3 big good boys. Nobody looks home. It must have been you that ordered the pizza. Right? Or was it you, little kitty? Did you order the pizza? You might have. Yeah. Bye. Oh, I gotta go. I'm sorry. We could have had a blast, huh? Okay. Bye. Goodbye.
Aw, that's so heckin' wholesome. Final cute animal video of the night. Cats who look like they like those. Right, that's the end of the show. Thank you so much for coming, everyone. I'll be on Empire of Lies in about an hour and a half. Let's say goodbye to everyone in the chat. On Rumble, Seti Sapiente, Ardent Party, J Chiva Loophole, Captain Crisps, Crisby13, Mikey Bikey, Full Short, Ardent Party. Good to see you, Ardent. How you doing, mate? Full Short. Wait, I think I already mentioned you. Anybody else? Yes, but she's gone. I think. Oh, and Hayes Reviews, of course. Good to see you, Hayes. Hope you enjoyed the show, mate. All the news is very depressing. Wyatt's Torch. Good to see you as well, man. Livia Drusilla. Think that's everybody. On YouTube, 007, Evil Author 1776, Robert Verlinden, Glenn Llewellyn, Sunny Jim. Who else? Anybody else? Apologies if I missed anyone. There's a lot of people double teaming it on Rumble and YouTube. For the joys of the chat. Thank you for inflating my view numbers, bros. I appreciate it. And on Odyssey, we have Taciturn, MK, and Highland Full. Good to see you guys. Hope to see you for Empire of Lies tonight. Otherwise, I will be back on Monday. I hope you all have an excellent weekend. Good night, everyone.